Welcome back to the Gentleman's Gazette. Today I'll be sharing some of the items that I regret buying. Now, have you ever dealt with buyer's remorse? You buy something that at one moment you're convinced is going to be the greatest thing ever, and a short while later, you've completely changed your mind. Well, my friends, you are not alone. Let's take a look at some of the items that I bought over the years that completely make me just shake my head. Now, first off, we have the Fingerless driving gloves. Now, you have to admit, they look pretty cool, but unless you really need that much extra grip strength when driving around in your Prius, you probably should leave these alone, lest you look like a burglar. I felt incredible in the store at first, but I soon realized I didn't have a genuine place or time to wear these gloves, so they were never worn. And then, of course, there's that whole small issue of I currently don't drive an Aston Martin, a Bugatti, a Corvette, anything like that. For a selection of high-quality driving gloves, take a look at the offerings made from the Fort Belvedere shop here. Next up, we have Denim Jackets. Now, I really enjoy denim jackets, and I've bought a few of them over the years, but I almost never wear them. I believe I do this because of the typical shorter body length that denim jackets are always offered in. I usually prefer wearing jackets that go a little bit past my waist. Now, I'm already tall to begin with, so wearing something in a shorter body length like a denim jacket makes me feel like I'm sometimes shopping at Gap Kids. Next up, we have over-embellished clothing. Now, I believe we all might have our own interpretation of what over-embellished might actually look like. But I'm not referring to clothing that represents a particular cultural heritage or has a certain type of functionality, for example, extra pockets on a military garment. I'm talking about clothing that is so busy an onlooker is quite distracted when they try to talk to you. Clothing that has so many buttons, patterns, colors, one has to wonder where in the world you're actually going. I once bought a few shirts like this. So many colors, stripes, and patterns. Let's just say that in a crowd, you would never lose me. Next up, we have faux glasses. Now, it's not that I dislike the concept of wearing faux glasses from time to time, but the style or frame that I chose was just a little bit too trendy for me. Now, going forward, I will stick to glasses that actually help me see. Crazy concept, I know. But I will still keep an eye out for some fun faux glasses to wear from time to time for a fun occasion. For more on both eyeglasses and sunglasses, check out our eyewear playlist here. And next, acrylic scarves. I suppose I could have also said acrylic anything, as I'm not a huge fan of this material. However, acrylic scarves in particular are something I highly regret purchasing. Now, initially, I was quite happy with my selection. I liked the style of the scarf, but I soon found that after wearing it, in the middle of the day, I would find large clumps of this acrylic fabric in my beard, on my head. It was very irritating. Now, lesson learned. I got what I paid for. In the future, I'm investing in better quality and preferably natural fabric. Now, on that note, we've got a great selection of scarves and a variety of patterns, fabrics, and colors available in the Fort Belvedere shop here. And next, we have Madras shorts. Now, I really like the Madras shorts that I purchased. I wore them around for a while, but then I soon realized that I looked like I had just retired. They were not an age-appropriate fit or style for me. Now, that's not to say that you should not try them, though, especially if your style does skew more traditional. Now, for more on Madras and how to wear it, take a look at our video here. And next, fast fashion shirts. Now, I enjoy the ease of being able to supplement my closet with an inexpensive shirt to wear on occasion. But I've soon found these fast fashion shirts to occasionally break down and to very oftentimes be too tight across my chest. Now, I still browse for shirts from these stores from time to time, but I prefer and actually recommend you buy high quality products from reputable brands to prevent future headache. Next, we have linen pants. These are so comfortable, so lightweight and airy, but they wrinkle like no other. Now, we know that the wrinkle is a natural feature of the linen fabric. However, this amazing feature might make one look as though they are wearing pajama pants. Now, this may come down to the fit and styling of the trousers. So again, it depends on the style you are going for. Now, for more information on linen, please take a look at our comprehensive guide here. Next up, we have low quality, no-show socks. Now, nothing can be as irritating to me as when I'm starting a run at the gym or walking around in a nice outfit, and all of a sudden I start to feel my socks take on a bit of a mind of their own and crawl below my heel. Then I have to completely stop what I'm doing, take off my shoes, and pull my socks back down my foot. Now, this tends to happen on a lot of low quality socks where the fabric is shrinking and the grip on the heel is just not that strong. Next up, we have narrow dress shoes. I remember buying a really sharp pair of leather dress shoes many years ago, but every time I wore them, they felt incredibly tight across my toes. Now, I told myself, they're leather, they'll stretch out. But you might have already guessed, they did not stretch out. I ended up walking around the rest of the day like a newborn giraffe. My feet were not happy with me. I've learned my lesson. Take the time to try on different shoe widths at a store. Next, we have heavy dress shirts. Now, I don't know if you're anything like me, but I've got this incredible ability to get really warm and sweaty and look like I just ran a mile when I haven't even done anything. Therefore, I find it incredibly helpful to invest in clothing that breathes easily. Now, heavy clothing, and shirts in particular, that don't breathe easily are usually going to just sit in my closet, and I will avoid putting them on. And last but not least, we have hats. Now, I really like hats and the different styles we can all choose from. Now, I'll occasionally buy a hat style that I enjoy, but I always go back to my default hat choice of a baseball hat. Every time I try on a fedora or buy a trendy beanie cap style over the winter, I almost never wear it, and it just collects dust in my closet. Now, as with a few other items on this list, this all comes down to my personal style. However, if you're curious about trying to add classic hats to your wardrobe, check out our playlist here. Now, we've all had a time where we bought something that we thought was fantastic, and then we soon had a change of heart and regretted that purchase. Now, whether you acquired your regretted treasure through peer pressure or a desire to not miss out on a movement or a trend, don't lose heart. There's plenty of ways that you can rid your closet of these things that you no longer want. Now, two of my personal favorite ways are going to include donating and reselling. Now, donating is a great way to give those gently used items to someone who could really use them. And reselling is another option I occasionally will use, as I like recouping some of the lost money I spent on that item. Now, today I'm wearing a rust-colored cardigan I picked up from Banana Republic against a cream pair of jeans I have from J Brand. I'm wearing that with a dark denim style shirt and a pair of boots I picked up from Taft. And then, of course, I'm adding in a fun, lightweight pair of shadow striped socks from the Fort Belvedere shop. Check out the Fort Belvedere shop for these kinds of socks and other great accessories here.